Gerard Labuschagne admits that in 2011, Thabo Bester was not interesting to him. The former SAPS specialist dealing with forensic psychology says there had been numerous similar cases. But what has unfolded over the last several months is a completely different story. He says Bester is a con man that honed his skills over many years. At first, stealing from people. Later, it escalated to rape and murder. A dangerous man that has gripped the imagination of the country.
I use the image of Alice in Wonderland who went down the rabbit hole, and this has so many twists and rabbit holes. And, it ranges from, was this just incompetence by various people, police, or was this high-level corruption? So you have this whole spectrum of who could be involved in financing this and supporting this. I mean, any time somebody escapes, I think that conjures up images of movies, and then he flees the country. I mean, if he was arrested in the Northern Cape, in Kimberley, I don't think this story would be half as fun and interesting.
Labuschagne says when he was called in to interview Bester 12 years ago, one thing, however, was evident.
I think what was very clear from the interview is that here is a person who really wasn't expressing much remorse for what he's done. So on the surface, he would apologize and say it was wrong, he wants to plead guilty, he feels bad. But you don't really, if you kind of blocked out the sound and you listen to his body language, or you change the language and you were listening to just the tone, you wouldn't really get that sense that here's someone who actually feels really genuinely sorry for what he's done to his victims. So that was something that stands out. And of course, as we know, subsequent fast-forwarding 10 years' time, things got worse.
Labuschagne is particularly interested to find out what the National Prosecuting Authority would ultimately pin on Bester, and who else could and will be charged for the corruption and incompetence in the wake of the murderer's escape.
The reality is, I'd be surprised if whatever he's found guilty of relating to the current events of his escape will make a difference on his sentence. In 2012, when he pled guilty to the murder of the young lady in Milnerton in Cape Town, he got a life sentence for that, which means his first option or parole period would be in 2037. That's 14 years from now. If his sentences that he gets for the current crimes don't amount to more than 14 years, it's really not going to have much of an impact on his sentence. It might delay his parole a little bit, but it's not actually going to be really adding years to his sentence because he has a life sentence. So for him, it's almost a no-brainer to try and escape because it really doesn't necessarily affect the length of his sentence.
Labuschagne makes it clear that he cannot put a diagnostic label on Bester, but he says the issues unfolding lie more on his level of personality. What is certain, however, is that much more is yet to unfold in the months to come. Mariska Botha, SABC News, Cape Town.